Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Popped In, your home for all things pop culture. And today we're continuing our series of going over every movie I watched in a month. And this time we're here talking about the movies that I watched throughout February of 2026. Now, as you can see, did not watch a ton. We've only got 7 movies here. No new movies. I did see one new movie from February, but it was at the beginning of March. So that'll be in next month's watch through. Um, but yeah, kind of a busy month. Didn't really get to watch as much as I wanted to, but hopefully March will be able to go in a step further of watching more things. But we still have some good stuff to talk about here. So yeah, let's just not waste any time and get started with Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. And this, yeah, I think I'd put this in good. It's not as good as Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, which is my favorite of the Scooby-Doo animated movies, but this is a classic. This is the introduction of the Hex Girls. You got Tim Curry in here voicing one of the main characters, and it kind of continues that trend of real quote unquote villains being the main focus here, not like someone you have to unmask, which cool to see. Like I said, not as good as the first in the like direct to video Scooby Doo movies, but a really solid one, and definitely has earned its spot as like a classic of Scooby-Doo movies and stories. So, yeah, pretty good movie. Then we have The Maze Runner, which this would also be in good. I'd put it above Scooby-Doo. Um, it has some kind of like moments when you watch it, you're like, yeah, this was really cool when I was like 14 or something, but now, or I wasn't even 14 then. I was like 12. But still, kind of watching it now, you're like, okay, some of this is a little goofy and silly, but overall, good movie. Like the characters, the actors here. There's a lot of people who went on to become even bigger stars, like Dylan O'Brien himself. But yeah, really good, fun, like young adult action type of movie. That kind of stood out from the rest of the crowd of like Hunger Games quote unquote ripoffs. So yeah, enjoyed that one. Then we have In the Tall Grass. Oh, great. Of course, my phone is not muted this time. Wonderful. Um, In the Tall Grass, which is an adaptation of a Stephen King, not even a book. I think it was more of a short story or a novella. This was, I believe, it was released as like a Netflix original, which, that's not even the bad thing because there was some cool stuff they did, like cinematically here, like some certain shots they did, and a very intriguing idea, but I think it just wasn't enough for like an hour and a half movie. Like if this would have been like an episode of an anthology series, would have been like the perfect length, but it kind of runs on too long. Like I said, it's not really bad. I'd probably just put it in meh. So yeah, that's what I do with In the Tall Grass. Then we have Argo, which this won Best Picture. It's based on a true story. Again, a loose term to use because apparently it's not that faithful to what really happened, but still, really good movie about people at the U.S. Embassy getting held hostage, and then a couple U.S. citizens go on. They have to like go into hiding while they're being hunted down. It very historical movie. Kind of crazy timing considering what it's about and what's going on right now. But anywho, really good movie still. Ben Affleck, he directed and starred in this, which I think I'd probably say this is like a better showcase of his directing than his acting, just because he didn't really seem to be like that dynamic here as an actor. But still, not a slight against him because Ben Affleck is Ben Affleck. But yeah, great movie there. Then we have How to Train Your Dragon. It'll go in great as well. One of the great animated movies, especially modern ones. Love Toothless, love Hiccup as a character. And it's been a long time since I saw this, so getting able to revisit it and stuff, really fun. Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon, phenomenal movie. And then we have another first time watch for me, and that is the movie Identity, which I did not realize until after I'd started watching it, that this movie was directed by James Mangold. So pretty cool to see. It's kind of like a riff on And Then There Were None, the old Agatha Christie story of like people getting killed off one by one. It's like in some ways kind of a slasher, in other ways like a murder mystery, but also a psychological thriller. All over the place, but man, is this a ton of fun. Um, I want to put it in great because certain elements of it kind of have like a feel similar to something like Seven or Silence of the Lambs, but the end result, like, it has a twist ending, and it's one of those twist endings I'm not a big fan of personally. So I think that would bump it down still to the top of good. Definitely better than these movies. Like, I feel like there's a clear gap, and that's with me liking these movies a lot. If it could have just stuck the landing, I think it would have stayed in the great tier. And then we have Arrival, and this is one of my favorite movies of all time. Didn't hit as strong on rewatch, but when I watched this movie for the first time, like the whole synopsis of it with the whole aliens arriving and stuff, but also what's going on personally for the characters. Really great stuff. I can't really say too much without giving away the spoilers and everything, but another movie really flips you on your head. But man, is it such a beautiful movie, and definitely the favorite that I watched in February, and possibly will be up there among all movies I watched, even though I think Alien still holds the top spot for my favorite movie that I've watched this year, but it's Arrival right up there. So this month kind of split, as you'd expect, a lot of just stuff that's kind of in the middle, good, have that here. But there wasn't really anything that I didn't like that I watched. Like I said, In the Tall Grass had some stuff that I think could have been done better, but it wasn't enough like to put me have it in the bad tier. Like, what was it, Grimm from last month? Yeah, but still, good month all around of movies I watched. Nothing really jumped out aside from these top ones, but Identity was a pretty good surprise for me. Like I said, if it would have stuck the landing, had a good ending, this would be a movie that I'd have, possibly up here or even above Argo. But it just didn't quite land as well as I hoped it would based off how it started. But like the first 2/3 of that movie was really, really good. But yeah, thank you all for checking out this video. As always, if you did enjoy it, be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, looking forward to doing this again in March and the rest of the months. Hopefully I can watch more movies. I'm on a better trajectory. I've already watched 2 things so far, and we're just 5 days in at the time I'm recording this, so should be a good month hopefully in March. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.